Welcome back to the Hades 32 Heat series, where I am doing 32 heat runs of Hades with every weapon, every aspect, and a couple fun challenge runs. And today, we are going to be looking at one of my favorite builds in all of Hades, Chiron Bow. Now, Chiron Bow is an interesting weapon because what it does is when you attack an enemy, they get locked onto, and when you use your special, all those arrows will lock onto that target. Now, this works especially well with Dionysus, who inflicts hangover. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the hangover on your special is what you can basically do is you can apply all 5 stacks of hangover on an enemy and then target a different one and do the same thing. And it's a way for you to kind of get some good crowd control, but the way that we're actually going to be doing this build, our hangover damage is going to be doing most of the work for us, even against bosses like Hades. It's a very safe build. It's a very fun build. It's probably got the most synergy out of any other build in the game. The only thing that we've changed in our Mirror of Night settings is that instead of Boiling Blood, we're going to be doing Abyssal Blood. Abyssal Blood reduces the speed and damage of foes with cast on them, instead of having them take more damage from your attack and special. The reason why is because we're not actually worried about the damage of our special, we're worried about the damage of our hangover, and Boiling Blood does not do anything for that. Making that switch isn't really necessary, but it does help. The other thing that we need to make sure we have is Privilege Status. This is going to be crucial for this build. And God's Legacy is going to be very helpful as well, because we are not going for 1, we're not going for 2, or even 3, we are going for 4 different duo boons with this build. And that sounds like a lot, it sounds difficult, but honestly the prerequisites to get them are very, very, very easy. We only need 3 mains and 1 side boon. The hardest part about it is actually getting the gods that we need. So we're going to start by taking Drunken Flourish. Ooh, that thing's fast. Okay. You fast, boy. We're going to start by taking Drunken Flourish, and we're going to see how many gods we can actually get before we even leave Tartarus. I'm hoping we can get at least 1 additional god. Now, the nice thing is, because there's 4 gods that we need, and there's only 8 Olympians being offered, we've pretty much got at least a 50% chance of being offered one of the ones that we need every time we come across a chamber offering the boon of a different god. So we've got a decent chance of getting at least 1 extra god. I'm hoping we get... there's kind of a list of priorities of which god you want to get first. Ideally... Okay, you know, Ares is fine. We'll start with Ares. Ares is actually one of the gods we need. He's kind of on the bottom of the priority list, though, so we're not overly excited if this is the only one we get, but we will see. Okay. Now, are we going to get offered what we need? Yes! Okay, we got Curse of Vengeance right off the bat. So, with this, with Curse of Vengeance and Drunken Flourish, we actually have already the prerequisites for one of our duos, Curse of Nausea. Curse of Nausea makes it so that our hangover effects deal damage 3 times per second instead of twice per second, roughly, like give or take 0.02 seconds, which, the beautiful thing about that... Okay, let me finish this train of thought and then I'll get into why I'm excited. The beautiful thing about increasing the rate at which hangover damage applies is that it actually increases the number of damage ticks per second, which is basically number of hits per second. If you know anything at all about how this game works, that is great. That is better than a percentage bonus, that is better than even a flat damage percentage increase, that's better than a crit chance. That's just more hits. More hits means every hit gets that percentage damage bonus, every hit gets that percentage crit chance. Every hit gets the increase of everything else. So, we've got the prerequisites we need for Curse of Nausea, and what I just saw is we have Artemis being offered. Artemis is another one of the Olympians that we need. This is, honestly, maybe the best start we could have gotten off to with this build. So, Artemis will offer us prerequisites for yet another duo boon, and actually not just 1 but 2 duo boons if we can get the last Olympian as well, which I'm not expecting us to get in Tartarus, but we'll see. We might get lucky. True Shot, excellent. This is what we need. It doesn't actually matter putting True Shot on our cast. What matters is that this will open the door to Splitting Headache. Splitting Headache increases crit chance on hangover-afflicted foes. Now, here's the thing. That is a universal crit chance bonus. So if you have 5 stacks of hangover, That means you have a 7.5% chance to deal critical damage from all sources. That's your special, that's your attack, and that's also hangover damage over time. Now, if you get that with Curse of Nausea, which increases the rate at which enemies take damage from hangover, that means you're dealing damage 3 times per second with hangover, and every single time you do that, it's got a 7.5% chance to deal 200% bonus damage. So splitting headache is what we want. Partly, the other thing we're going for, the other duo that True Shot opens the door to, is Heartrend. Now, we just established that hangover can deal critical hit damage, so if we can afflict those foes with weak, we can actually increase the amount of critical hit damage that will deal if we can get Aphrodite. So we're going to take True Shot. And just like that, we've already got 3 of the boons we need for prerequisites for 2 of the duos, and as soon as we get the last prerequisite, we'll have opened the door to every single duo. It's actually very, very easy to get all 4 duo boons with this build. I've done it multiple times with very little effort. It does take some luck, for sure, but God's Legacy helps with that immensely. Okay, we are being offered Ares in the mini-boss, but we're also offered a shop, so let's see what's available there. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? Artemis. Okay, you know what? Let's take that. Okay, no luck for getting the splitting headache, but that's fine. Let's take pressure points. That's good too. Pressure points gives us an extra 3% or 2% crit chance. That's great. That means that instead of a 7.5%, we'll have a 10.5% chance. And that will actually increase even further when we get the last duo boon, which is actually arguably the most important duo boon. It's funny how we kind of reversed the order of priorities for which gods we wanted to take. Dionysus is always top priority, but that's why we forced him in the start of the chamber. Ares is kind of bottom priority, Artemis is second from the bottom, and then top priority is absolutely Aphrodite, just below Dionysus. Okay, we will... I'm going to re-roll the mini-boss chamber, because although Ares could potentially offer us Curse of Vengeance, if he doesn't, then there's nothing else we really need from him.
How about another?
Dionysus, on the other hand, we could be offered both Curse of Nausea or Splitting Headache, which means that is absolutely worthwhile to take. This one god offers us 2 potential different duo boons. We are taking a few more hits than I was comfortable with. I'm just getting a little bit reckless here. There we go. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Okay, nothing yet. Let's take Premium Vintage, because I don't want Dionysus Aid, and we definitely don't want Drunken Strike. Premium Vintage gives us a little more obol, a little more health, a little more palms, and it actually means that every time we take Nectar now, we get an extra palm, so that's even better. Let's take the palm here, see if we can put a point into our Drunken Flourish, increase our hangover damage even further. And the nice thing is, because our hangover damage is flat damage, and it's relatively low flat damage, but it stacks up, the number of palms you take will be... there's really no limit to the number of palms you want for this. Every palm is going to increase your damage by a worthwhile amount. Even when we get to the diminishing turns where it just increases our hangover by 1 per palm, doesn't matter. It's still going to be worthwhile. That was dumb. Where'd you go? Oh, he's a teleporter. There we go. Got him.
Delicious.
Drunken Flourish. It's up to 8 damage per stack now. Okay, 83 obol. We are not going to be able to buy a boon from the shop, but that's okay. Oh, you're fast. What is with the fast ringers? I'm going to be looking forward to getting out of Tartarus and not having to deal with these things anymore. Whoa. Okay, we're good. Ah! Jeez. So fast you have to practically predict their movements. Ah! Jeepers. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. We're good, we're good, we're good. What do we got, what do we got? Centaur Heart, that's fine. Alright, and see the kind of way that this build works is you basically just attack a different enemy each time, and then apply your hangover stacks and move on to the next one. Let the hangover finish them off. You don't have to keep doing a volley on the same enemy. And because of that, you can clear out rooms pretty quick. It's also an easy way to get, I believe it's Bad Influence, that increases your damage when you got 3 or more enemies afflicted with hangover. The unfortunate part about that is you're going to be killing them so quickly that you'll get very few opportunities to actually use that bonus. 150 darkness, that would heal us. Okay, we don't have enough obol to buy a boon, so we're just going to take the palm instead. It's free. There we go. Drunken Flourish. And let's take down... Who do we got? Meg!
Hope I didn't keep you waiting, ladies.
Hello, my love.
Let's go, sir.
And with Abyssal Blood, Meg will be a little bit slower now, deal a little bit less damage. So that's nice. And with Stygian Soul, we don't have to collect those casts. We can just fire them off every couple seconds, and we'll be good to go. There we go. 2, 3. Fire cast. Okay. Meg! Being mean. For it. Now, there we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cast, we're good. Got her.
Well, it's been lovely.
Okay, well that was an excellent start. We got 3 of the gods that we needed for this build in Tartarus. We got 3 of the prerequisites we needed. Definitely don't want to purge any of that. Nope, don't want to purge those, or buy those. We're going to take the Eternal Rose next. We want to force Aphrodite. And with that, that'll give us all 4 gods that we need. Now we just need to hope that we get Heartbreak Strike. If we don't get Heartbreak Strike and get offered something like Passion Dash instead, that's going to be a little unfortunate. It'll still be doable. We will hopefully be able to get Heartbreak Strike later. But for the best possible synergy, Heartbreak Strike is going to be necessary. Okay, oh, this is where I wish I had Piercing Volley. It would just help to kind of rip down their armor a little bit and make this go a little bit quicker. Okay, why can't I lock on? There we go. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I didn't lock on. There we go. What? Okay. There we go. All right. Hermes, what have you got for us? None of those are great. Side Hustle could close the gap for convenience fee a bit, so let's do that. We'll take another palm, beef up our hangover damage. See an urn. Ah, now this is... okay, these things are actually kind of fun to fight with this build, because you can lock onto them, and even if they burrow underground and move somewhere else, you will stay locked onto them, and you don't have to lock on just because they changed position. Makes it very easy to deal with them with Chiron Bow. And because they've got relatively low health, the hangover can take care of them pretty easily. Alright, Drunken Flourish, keep that going. Okay, yeah, let's take a Daedalus Hammer. Daedalus Hammers are good. Piercing Volley, I think, would be ideal. If we can't get that, Relentless Volley would be good too. And we're offered both. So in this situation, I would say Piercing Volley takes priority over Relentless. And the reason is because, for one, bonus damage to armor. We are already firing 8 arrows, which is the most amount of hangover stacks we can apply anyway. And being able to pierce foes means that if we face hordes of enemies, we can basically mark one in the back, use our special, and the Piercing Volley will apply hangover to every single enemy between us and the one that we've locked onto. So Piercing Volley is absolutely where it's at. Alright, Aphrodite, here we go. I was hoping we'd find her before we got to the mini-boss, so we could hopefully get the duo offered here. But we'll take what we got. Okay, bonus damage to that armor is excellent. Ah, no, 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 no. Okay, we're going to apply Hangover to Skull Crusher so that it can take damage in the air there. Good. Did I accidentally turn Forced Overtime up? an extra point or something? Because this feels faster than I'm used to. I don't think so. I think I'm just a little sleepy or something. Heartbreak Strike. Even at epic rarity, that's awesome. Wasn't necessary. Very welcome. Very much welcome. Come on, come down. There we go. Alright, so with Heartbreak Strike, we just unlocked two things. One, the prerequisite for all our remaining duo boons, and two, privilege status. Now, our attack, which we use to lock onto enemies with anyway, inflicts weak, and our special inflicts hangover, which is 2 status ailments, and we deal 40% bonus damage from all sources, including our hangover. And what's left? Ooh. Ooh, Eurydice, all day long. Here's the thing, we have the prerequisite for every single duo boon that we could need, and any god we get could offer us one of those duo boons. Even Ares could offer us Curse of Nausea. So the Refreshing Nectar, giving us 3 boons with increased rarity and potentially increased chance at getting a duo, is perfect. We're going to buy whatever boon is offered in the shop here because it doesn't matter. Ares? Sure, why not? Okay, I was hoping we'd get Curse of Nausea. We didn't. That's fine. Let's just take Impending Doom. Maybe we can purge it and get some mobile back. And if we can't, it's not really a big deal.
Why, Lerny, you are looking positively fabulous, I have to say.
Now basically all we're going to do is play our hangover, try to keep our distance, try to keep that weak and hangover active for that privilege status. Oops. Sloppy. So yeah, we are going into Elysium stacked. We have pretty much everything we need at this point. We've got all the prerequisites. All we need left for this build now is duos, and we have everything we need for those duos. So everything we get from this point forward will be helpful in some way. And we even got pressure points too, which, you know, while it's not one of the duos required, it definitely does help. And let the hangover just kill Lerny. There we go.
Heads down.
Oh, all right. First, yeah, we don't need Impending Doom. Let's purge that, get the Obel back. We don't need any of that. Okay, now we could force Artemis to try to get Splitting Headache or Heartrend, but without Splitting Headache, Heartrend's going to be useless. And I would rather get either Dionysus or Aphrodite, to be honest. Dionysus would be ideal, but since we can't force him to show up, this is going to seem weird. We're going to take the Sigil of the Dead. And there's 2 reasons for that. One, well, 3 reasons, actually. One, we're dealing so much damage and so many hits that our call will charge up very quickly. We'll be able to use Hades' Aid quite frequently.
Nice and cool.
2, the damage increase from Hades' Aid will apply to our hangover. And 3,
More chariots.
taking Hades' Aid will prevent us from being offered things like Artemis Aid or Dionysus Aid, which takes 1 more boon out of the list of offerings, which actually marginally increases our chances that we're going to be offered a duo boon instead. By not being able to be offered any Olympian aids, we actually just essentially increased our chance of getting a duo boon. I don't actually know if that's how it works, but it kind of makes sense in my mind of like, well, yeah, you can't be offered this, so let's offer you this instead. There we go. And what's first? Okay, no boons yet. This is a surprisingly boon light run so far. Ah, this is another reason why we took Piercing Volley. Now we just don't care about Great Shields. They'll get hit anyway. No, you don't. As long as we can lock onto them, our piercing volley will pierce right through their shield. This, and there it is, there's our call. Yeah, it doesn't last very long, but the damage bonus applies to everything, so it does actually help quite a bit. The other thing about it that's kind of nice is that it takes up a slot on our boons, but it's not something we can palm, which means that we have more opportunities now to palm Drunken Flourish instead, and just increase our hangover damage. Let's take Artemis. Heartrend. Okay, not what we wanted, but we will take it. That is going to be useful. Alright, let's take the hammer, see if we get Relentless Volley as well. There's no reason not to. If we fire more arrows, that just means that there's more opportunities for us to apply those hangovers in case one of them gets intercepted by like a wall or something. We can hopefully get all the stacks we need, regardless of what the Chiron Bow initially offers us. I'm expecting a second wave, so we're just gonna wait, and now.
Become unseen once more.
Gives us just a brief moment of invincibility, lets us kind of attack as carelessly and recklessly as we want, and deal bonus damage the whole way along. And, okay, didn't get Relentless Volley, that's fine. We don't want Twin Shot. We'll take Sniper Shot just because it's not going to mess up our attack pattern. Ooh, okay. Ideally, we don't want Artemis, because Artemis will only give us Splitting Headache at this point. So if we re-roll this...
How about another?
Dionysus, yes. This gives us the most opportunities for a duo. We can either get Splitting Headache, Curse of Nausea, or Low Tolerance. Any one of those would be helpful. The one that we're really going to want to go for, though, the highest priority, is by far Low Tolerance. Increasing the number of stacks of Hangover... Okay, this was a bit sloppy. Unfortunately, because we can't be sturdy in any way right now, those butterfly balls are actually a little bit dangerous. But Low Tolerance will not only increase our number of hangover stacks, thereby increasing our damage, but if we do get Splitting Headache, it'll increase the number of stacks that can get those crits. That'll increase our crit chance. If we get Curse of Nausea, that'll compound with that as well. There's just no reason not to get Low Tolerance if it gets offered.
Farewell for now, sinister ball of butterflies.
Or we just won't get any of them, but we can take Bad Influence, and yeah, deal more damage when 3 or more foes are hangover inflicted. With how quickly we're killing them, we're not going to get this bonus very often, but it's enough. We'll get it often enough that it's still worthwhile. And just like that, we got Bad Influence. Ooh, hi. I don't know how he avoided damage there. Ouch, okay. Very good. Yeah, we're doing good now. Even though we still only have one duo and it's not even any of the ones we want. Like, we do want Heartrend, but we want Splitting Headache first. There we go, Low Tolerance, perfect. So now we can apply 3 more stacks of Hangover to weak afflicted foes. And since our attack is inflicting weak, and that's what we use to lock on, we will always be applying 8 stacks to the foes that we target. We'll take Hydrolite Gold, get a little bit more health in between chambers here. That will keep us alive. When these things are so weak, we'll just use our regular volley, kind of pierce through them, try to apply those hangover stacks and get them to slowly tick away before they can reach us, or we can just lure them into walls and blow them up that way. Yeah, that works too. Yeah. Okay, you gonna give me an actual enemy to fight? Yep, to 8 stacks of Hangover now on those Flame Chariots. Or not the Flame Chariots, but the whatever these things are called. Flame wheels or something chariot. Is it flame chariot? I don't know. These are flame wheels, I know that. And I'm taking too many hits from them. Oh, jeez, come on. Break.
Darkness concealed.
There we go. Drunken Flourish. Erebus Gate's offering a heart. Ooh, let's take the free Dionysus boon. See if we can get out of the Curse of Nausea or Splitting Headache. What do we got? What do we got? Curse of Nausea. Nice. Awesome. All we have left now to get is Splitting Headache, and we have quite a few Fated Authorities, so we'll be able to force some boons to appear in sticks. And I don't think we've taken the Adamant Arrowhead yet, so we can do that, and that would force an Artemis boon at an increased rarity right off the bat, so that may be a good way to go for sticks with Keepsake. Alternatively, we could keep Hades' Aid, or we could actually switch to Distant Memory and get the 30% damage bonus to distant foes, which is quite easy to get as well. Did we? Nope, there he is. Now he's at half health. Okay, we'll lock on, and there we go. It's like, where'd he go? We may actually just keep Hades' Aid. It's kind of fun. It's actually not a bad call. It's a little gimmicky, but it does offer a 100% universal damage bonus, which applies to status ailments, which is insane. Like, it's crazy how powerful that can be. Oops. Now let's just do it now. Oh shoot, that was bad timing. I just realized he's really close to his... Yeah, that was really horrible timing. I should have waited for this. That's alright. Oops. Okay, okay, there we go. Oh jeez, okay. Horrible timing. Keep applying those stacks, make sure he stays fully afflicted each time, and he's done.
Limitless darkness. Hello, supportive shade. I'll take the service exit, thanks.
Alright, we actually don't need Curse of Vengeance anymore, since we have Curse of Nausea. So we could purge this if we want, but there's not really any reason to, except for if we want to palm something, it would be better to have less options, so we'll purge that. Yeah, don't need Curse of Vengeance. Pressure points is still helpful, so we won't get rid of that. Now, we could switch to the Adamant Arrowhead and try to force a higher rarity Artemis boon, but we only need one. As long as we can force Artemis even once, and we have 6 Fated Authority, so we should be able to, either Artemis or Dionysus, either one of those is fine, we've got a decent chance of getting Splitting Headache. We could take Distant Memory as well, but I think the 100% damage bonus of Hades' Aid is going to be more beneficial, so we'll stick with that.
I'm out of here.
Alright, let's see what's in the shop first. Okay, we got 2 boons. Ooh, wow, okay. We've got a bunch of options right off the bat. We can buy the Dionysus boon and the Artemis boon and hope that one of them gives a Splitting Headache, or we could save up for the higher rarity Artemis boon. Let's see what's up here first.
Which tunnel?
Okay, nothing in the boss chambers. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Just what I
Okay.
need.
Okay, we'll take Positive Outlook, and...
Strong stuff.
No, okay, no... Yeah, no Splitting Headache. Let's go with Hunter's Instinct, I guess. I still don't actually know if that has a use. It feels like a completely pointless boon, but... Anyway, we'll take Dionysus here in the boss room. And see if we can get the last duo boon that we need. Something else we should start doing is calling down Voldy to get the bonus obol
Take it.
and make use of that while we have it. Because if we wait too long, then it will go to waste. I'd like to not use it against these guys, though, if I can. We can deal the bonus 1000 damage. That's nice. It's not really required, but it would be nice. Something like this, though, yeah, absolutely. Why not? Hold steady for a second. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. Yes, that's what we're waiting for. Use your little venom pools.
All right, I
Hades
heard.
aid. There we go. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Nope. Okay, numbing sensation is fine. Nope. Numbing sensation is fine. Alright, let's go for this one here. The Artemis Boon in this chamber. Still have 4 Fated Authorities, so if we don't get offered here, we can potentially reroll the other boss room for either Dionysus or Artemis. I wanted to take Artemis while Artemis is being offered, so that when we if we do need to reroll, there's 2 gods that could potentially be rerolled to give us what we need. So that's actually, I should explain that. Once we finish this chamber, I'll kind of go into
No use.
why Fated Authority is especially powerful in Styx. Try to explain it as best I can. Okay, no boss, or no satyr sack this time, that's fine. I'll just
Become unseen.
why not? Might as well use it while we got it. I guess just having pressure points does still give Heartrend a use. It's just not going to be as synergistic as if we could get Splitting Headache as well. Whoa, okay, let's just call down Sisyphus. There we go. Interrupt their attack pattern. Okay, and grab that. There we go. No, please stop that. I hate poison. Okay, Sisyphus, or no, Hades.
Watch their backs.
There we go.
That's something.
Still no. Lovely. Okay, Hunter's Mark, I guess.
Excellent.
Well, we still have other opportunities.
There we go.
Okay, so here's the deal with the Temple of Styx. You are offered 5 chambers. Of those 5 chambers, you will never be offered the same thing in 2 chambers, which means if you have all 5 chambers, let's say with these 3 I've got the Centaur Heart, the Palm of Power, Charon's Obol, and then 2 boons, let's say Artemis and Ares. If I re-roll one of those chambers, the only thing that can be offered, there's no blue chambers, so there's no darkness or gemstones or nectar. The only thing that can be offered are boons, the 3 things I just mentioned, Hermes, or Daedalus. Since we already have Hermes and Daedalus, I don't think we have 2 Hermes boons. Maybe we do, but since we already have at least 1 Hermes boon and both Daedalus hammers, we won't be offered Daedalus for sure. So if we had 2 boons, say it's Artemis and Ares, if we roll Ares, we are guaranteed to be re-rolling it to something else like either Aphrodite or Dionysus, because those are the only options left. It will never be re-rolled to something that is already being offered unless you go through the chamber and re-roll it again within the depths of that chamber. So because of that, using Fated Authority in the Temple of Styx is a very effective way of forcing you to get the gods that you're actually looking for. So in this situation, I'm going to re-roll the boss room on this Centaur Heart, and I know I will not be offered a Palm of Power or Charon's Obol because it's already offered. All I can be offered at this point is a boon, whether it's Hermes or one of the 4 that we have. So let's see what we get offered.
Not what I need right now.
Dionysus. Perfect. That is why Fated Authority is especially powerful. Even if you don't use a single Fated Authority throughout the entire run and you save it all for when you get to Styx, it's a very effective way of getting what you're looking for in the last handful of chambers. And obviously the more chambers you go through in the Temple of Styx, the more it's gonna widen your available options, so it's best early on in the temple to use, but it is a very effective way of forcing gods that you want to appear. And while you could take Fated Persuasion instead to just take the one chamber and re-roll it to get what you want, it's no good being able to re-roll a boon if you're not offered it in the first place. So being able to re-roll a chamber to offer you another boon of the same god is, in my opinion, as effective, and you have more opportunities to do that because you get 8 Fated Authorities, and each re-roll only costs 1 use, as opposed to 2 if you have to re-roll a boon twice.
Wait, it's back?
Lovely. Okay, let's see what we can do against this thing. This thing's such a nuisance because it burrows underground and then it becomes partially invincible for a bit and it becomes impervious and then you can't lock onto it and it's just annoying. Most cowardly boss. Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to... There we go. Yep, and now. There we go. Please don't burrow, please don't burrow. Yes, good. Awesome, we got almost the full bonus from Hades 8 against the vermin there. And done. There we go. Bye-bye, tiny vermin. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Still no splitting headache. Okay. Strong drink, I guess. I don't really want Drunken Dash or Peer Pressure because the hangover damage that's going to be inflicted from that is smaller than what our Drunken Flourish is offering. So, strong drink.
Cheers to that.
Why not? Okay, we're close to getting the Artemis Boon over there, so let's try a reroll here one more time. 1, 2, okay, sweet, we got Dionysus, let's go for it. And if we don't get it offered here, but we do get offered the Satyr Sack, we could always try buying the Artemis Boon from the shop. We don't actually need to purge anything, because even Side Hustle, yeah, right there, gives us everything else that we need. I didn't actually mean to call down Sisyphus there, but oh well, it worked. Kind of unfortunate that we weren't offered Splitting Headache in a with what is that? 5 boons in a row now? Because we bought 2 from the shop. We've been through 3 different chambers, all potentially offering Splitting Headache. So we've gone 5 boons in a row without that being offered. So a little bit unlucky in that sense, but it isn't exactly a massive chance, even with God's Legacy. Oh dear! Oh no! Oh no! There we go. Okay, what have we got? Please, please, please. Wow, okay. After party.
Let's just go down this satyr hole.
Let's try.
Here's the fee.
Dang, no splitting headache. That's a shame. I'll take support fire. And just for good measure.
I don't think so.
No. Darn, we didn't get it. It's not required, especially because we do have pressure points, but it would have been amazing if we could have gotten that.
Thanks, boy.
I will kind of highlight what it would look like if we did have that when we clear the run. But ultimately, it's yeah, it's not really required.
Come on.
Ow! My timing was a little bit off there. Hold steady for a second. He's about to go into his shield state. There we go. Save Hades 8 for that. Yeah, we'll definitely take down the Mega Gorgon. And now we'll call it. There we go. Please don't use your darkness just yet. Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Hold on. There we go. Oh. Oh, shoot. Okay. Very bad. Getting sloppy.
Yes, I hear you, Father.
Ah, okay, we got a Doomstone. Perfect. That's going to be probably the best way to build up our God Gauge as fast as possible.
So,
Nice thing is that our arrows actually will intercept his spear if he does his throwing attack. If we can time it right. Like that. There we go. We got him. Took a few too many hits there, but we're alright.
come on and die.
What? But I dashed over the thing. How did that hit me? Just hold steady, let the hangover tick him down there. Bonus. And let's try to get our God Gauge back up as high as we can before he falls in Cerberus. We can always use Hades' Aid to avoid that damage if need be.
I shall be whole again.
Okay, we got at least a minor call. That's good. Ooh, okay. Okay, see. Had to be careful there. Just had to play it safe. There we go. Really, with this, all you need to do is lock onto him, put the hangover in him once, and then let him get ticked down. But it always helps to apply it multiple times. I'm going to save the aid since he's already nearly past his second phase, and instead save it for his third phase. Alright, bring it on. Wait for it.
And this is it.
There we go. Now let's do it. Get the damage bonus. Yikes.
Where you step.
Oh, oh! Okay, that could have been bad. The hangover do its job. There we go. Ah, okay. Ah, shoot. Fine, okay. He's done. There we go. We got him. Again, a little more reckless than I'm comfortable with, but we got him.
Well,
Goodbye, Father.
Okay, and that is one step removed from my absolute favorite build in all of Hades. So, what is required? Well, let's look at the fun stuff first. This here is most of it. If I could add Splitting Headache to the list, I would, and I would just have screenshot of nothing but duos and the aspect of Chiron, but we didn't get it. I will go into how that would actually change things, though. So basically, how this build works is that your special automatically seeks the foe last struck by your attack, and you can shoot 8 arrows. Your attack inflicts weak. Your special inflicts hangover, and your hangover can stack more times against weak afflicted foes, which means that every single time you use attack and then special, you apply 2 statuses, which gives you privileged status, and applies all 8 stacks of hangover. Your hangover then deals damage 3 times per second instead of once per second. In addition to that, if you get splitting headache, you get 1.5% crit chance against weak afflicted foes, or no, per stack of hangover, I should say, which synergizes with low tolerance by increasing the number of stacks up to 8, which means that instead of 7.5%, I believe it's 12? 8? Yeah, 12% crit chance. You can add pressure points to make it up to like 15%. So 12% crit chance every single time they take damage for hangover, which is happening faster because of Curse of Nausea. And when they do take crit damage, they take bonus crit damage because they're weak afflicted because of your attack. There is so much synergy in this build, it's disgusting. It is insane how much synergy is wrapped into this one build, with privilege status, the actual aspect of Chiron and how it works, the fact that you can get 4 duo boons that all work together to deal the most amount of hangover damage possible. It's crazy how disgustingly synergistic this build is. So what's actually required for this build? Honestly, if you want to clear 32 heat with Aspect of Chiron with a hangover build, all you really need is the Aspect itself, Heartbreak Strike, Drunken Flourish, low tolerance. That's about it. You really don't need anything else. That's it. If you want to add one more thing, let's just say Curse of Nausea. That's a good hangover build right there, without needing to really go too far into depth there. You can add the other duos as well, and it's really easy to do. All you need, really all you need is these 3 mains: Heartbreak Strike, Drunken Flourish, True Shot. That opens the door to 3 duo boons right there, and then Curse of Vengeance opens up the door to the 4th one. That's it. And then everything else is just hoping you get lucky to get all 4 of them. We didn't this time, but obviously we didn't need it. So this is, in my opinion, one of the most fun builds with Chiron Bow, just because of how much goes into the synergy of this build. But yeah, that's it. Let's take a screenshot. We'll make that the thumbnail. And that there is Chiron Hangover Bow. Let's fish.
Looks like a good spot. Fish.
A bass.
That's one
Perfect
more
catch.
bass.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. That'll do it for this run, and I'll see you next time.